Yo, what's poppin'? Hold on. What the hell? Wow. Hold on. Yo, what the hell? Yo, give me a second. Oh, I see what happened. My bad, y'all. I was playing around with different settings and it messed it up. Yeah. What's up with everybody? I was messing around with the settings and it got crazy. But we back. Yo, can y'all hear me? Yo, what do we sound like on the audio on a scale 0 to 10? I'm just messing with stuff. I be getting bored, so I gotta get the stuff right. Crazy Mike. What's so crazy? I don't know. I'll get it. Yo, testing. 1, 2, 3. What do we sound like? Too loud. We crisp. Hold on. The video's crisp. Yeah, man. We just playing with some different stuff. Like I said, we doing renovations. I like to have my stuff a certain way. All right, we crispy. Y'all can hear me. Let's go. It looks good. I'm saying professional. It better be the amount I pay for it, but I appreciate you. How's everybody doing? Listen, let me talk about. I'm gonna keep talking about the Canelo situation, and then we can talk about whatever. This is just a throwaway stream. I just got time today. I got time because I'm so caught up with my work. I decided to do an extra stream. You know, let the games begin. Um, the downside with Canelo is like the Cinnabons. They're gonna say like, oh, it was just a mandatory. So was Charlo, and it didn't happen. Those fights didn't happen for whatever reason. We never got to see Charlo and Canelo Derevchenko, both of which I think would have been better than that BS last night. And the thing that's sad is this is it. I think it just puts boxing in a negative light because old media is telling you Canelo is the face of boxing. They're saying he's the face of boxing. So people who are in the know, they're looking at that as a representation of boxing. And the feedback that I've seen personally, by and large, is very poor for that fight. Like, yo, what was that? The J Balvin ring intro was better. Boxing is dying. You know, this is your boy Eddie Hearn. So Canelo sued Golden Boy and Oscar De La Hoya. There was no promotion for this fight. And Canelo team goes back to the same platform, DAZN, that he was on before. And this is the product they come up with. I can't say that's good for boxing. And I'm always going to listen. I don't care if the fighters get mad at my channel. What are they going to do? Oh, I don't want to interview with you. Listen, I'll interview with anybody. I'm a professional. If my words offend you, how do you take punches for a living, but you can't take criticism, constructive criticism? You know, that's weak. So I don't care. When I speak, then, you know, I speak for a reason, and I'm very clear. I'm not out here disrespecting Canelo as a man. You know, I don't do that. Like, that's not even my nature. He's a good, I mean, he's a good fighter. I was about to say he's a good dude, but I don't really know him personally. But it's not about that. This is business. This is my business. Boxing is my business. And all in all, look at how boxing looks. You know, people are like, what? That's what boxing, this is the best of? You know what I'm saying? Fights like this because the WBC and Canelo want to play games, which is what I told y'all. There's no way. I mean, it's just an embarrassing. It's a mockery, and it's embarrassing. Like I said, the WBC, based on all the people that are with the WBC, they somehow, some way thought that for someone as skilled as Canelo, the person that needed to next fight Canelo, because we know he got the belt when he beat Caleb Smith, was this fool, Average Pilgrim. You know what I'm saying? That's what their ranking system. So tell me something's not broken with the process when your ranking system has a person off of a loss, like I said before the fight, a person off of a long, inactive, dry spell and layoff, and then someone who naturally is already at a deficit in skills, comparatively speaking, to a guy like Canelo. So it's old, it's dated. Canelo's like gimmick of like, we're over. He has red hair, you know, he's a good fighter. But feeding us constantly the same thing over and over. Imagine if you ate hamburger. I love hamburgers as much as the next person, but I don't want to eat hamburgers every single day for a year straight. That's Canelo's diet of fighters. People, you know, they're going to say, oh, but what about Jacob? That's one fight, and that was years ago. You know what I'm saying? Canelo's last 3 fights, for all intents and purposes, were fair-skinned Caucasian men. And his next fight, same thing. Who'd he fight? Kovalev, Russian. Fair-skinned, white, Russian, Kovalev. After that, who did he fight? Fair-skinned, Caucasian, Caleb Smith. A Turkish Yildirim. And now Billy Joe. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Like, mix it up. And this is the thing. I'm not saying Canelo can never fight, because I know they try to just twist my words to try to make it look like it's something that it ain't. I'm not saying Canelo can't fight a white fighter or a Caucasian fighter or Caucasoid fighter or whatever. I'm not saying that. Of course, that's stupid. But in a talent pool chock full of talent, you know, in 160, 168, 175, that's who you picking? You know what I'm saying? What Skin got to do? Block him. Get rid of him. Listen, if you spent half of the time listening to the message that's being said, because listen, this is what people like Helmer or whatever his last name is, this is what they try to do. They try to veer off down the street and distract from the actual message. Listen, you can get mad, but the reality of Canelo's last fights, that's who he fought. Don't get mad at me. This is who he has fought. So I'm speaking 100% absolute fact. You could try to distract and deflect. Oh, what does this have to do with it? Or you can listen. And it's the same thing. His next opponent, Billy Joe Saunders, another European fighter, fair skin, for all intents and purposes, white male that he's fighting. Again, if white dudes or white fighters were the only popping fighters in those divisions, then sure, fight this guy, and that guy. But from 160 to 175, we know that there are other fighters who have bigger brands and aren't necessarily white, and they aren't getting the opportunity in the Canelo golden ticket. So I'm not asking Canelo or his fans or whatever to create a division, or create division. But I'm saying there's other people that should be in the queue that should get their ticket pulled that don't happen to be white, because, you can't control like what you are when you're born, like what your ethnicity is and stuff, blah, blah, blah. And that's funny. And then people are, oh, he's going after the belts. He said that at 160, though. And to get to the belts, he would have had to go through two black fighters, Jermall Charlo and Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. Somewhere along the line, that game plan apparently changed, and he said, I'm moving up to 175, a move that nobody told him to do, a move that was, unnecessary, and he fought Kovalev. So why should Canelo get a pass because now he says his goal is to unify the division? He said that in his last division, and he didn't fulfill it. So I could pull up it was an ESPN Deportes interview where he said at middleweight, his goal was to be undisputed. So you didn't do that because you didn't fight Jermall Charlo and you didn't fight Demetrius Andrade. So what changed? What happened, Biggie? What happened? Now it's starting to make sense to some of y'all. What happened? You had the same goal, undisputed. So now, it reminds me of, and there's a lot of this going on in boxing. I need y'all to get the likes up. He asking Ego what skin got to do with it, but Ego didn't create the acronym NBF. That's a fact. But listen, I've been in the game for so long. I need y'all to get the likes up. Get the likes up. I've been in the game so long. I know all their tricks. I know all the old media tricks. They're going to try to paint me out like this monger of hate. I'm the bad guy. They'll say, oh, you're biased, you're racist, and PBC. I know all the tricks, bro. But one thing I know for a fact, what you won't do is prove me wrong. I do know that for a fact. You can insult and make fun of me and name call or, say I'm unsubbing from your channel. You can do all that. But one thing we all know that you ain't going to do is prove me wrong. When you ask old media to listen to the points being made and dispute them, they can never do that. They can never dispute them. They can never say, oh, Ego, you're wrong. He actually fought this person. I can prove you wrong. All right, you got 30 seconds. Let's see what you got. We got a hot seat. His name is Isan. Prove me wrong. The whole world's watching. Nah, sir, don't do him like that. Come on, man. Oh my gosh. Come on, man. I'm trying to, we listen, survival of the fittest. Let me get some work. Isan, you got 30 seconds. They resurrected you. Now I'm messing with you. I just joined. All right, block him. Now you can block him for wasting everybody's time. Okay. So, hope it was worth it. See? I don't know the topic at all. That's fine. But one thing you will know is my shooters are coming. Block them. We're not here to waste time. 2021, my time is oh so precious. Classic tactics of racists. Facts. Deflection, name calling, and flat out lying. Facts. That's what I'm saying. Canelo, you can get mad at me for saying it. I don't care. When you see me in traffic, then do something about it. I'm telling you, I'll tell you to your face, Canelo's last few opponents have been Caucasian. It's not going to change if I see you. That's the truth. He's fought fair-skinned and or people who would identify probably closer to Caucasian than anybody. But that's what I'm saying. There's other people that are also good. Or there's a white fighter named Caleb Plant who got an American style, and for some reason that fight's not happening until the very end. So before you get to Billy Joe, before you got to Caleb, so why didn't you fight Caleb Plant in December when they was talking about it? You see what I'm saying? Come on, man. Smash the like button. The ruler's back. No such thing as an American style of boxing. Yeah, there's no such thing as you in my chat. Block them. Listen, y'all know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, this ain't the channel for you. He said there's no such thing as an American style. Okay. That's what's up. Habram Martinez. Block him. Man, my man Business Brain put in that work. That's what I'm talking about. Just get him out of here. Because you ain't never going to understand. You don't understand that, you ain't never going to understand. Who next? Bro, they just blocked 3 people in 3 seconds. Woo! It's pretty. It's so pretty. Caleb Plant didn't want the fight on short notice, but I do agree with you. Yeah, but like, okay, but why should Canelo's tactic of short note? Why should he fight Canelo on short notice? Like, bro, what part of the game is I should have them block you for saying that, bro? That's stupid. So if you want to prove you're the best, then why should you have ill time to prepare while Canelo is the Geppetto pulling the strings and he got full time to prepare because he knows who he's going to select? So why should Caleb Plant put himself at any type of deficit like that is not really reasonable? Like some things like, okay, you walk out first and stuff like that, you get less money, I get the lion's share. Okay, that's customary. But why should anyone, Caleb Smith or Caleb Plant, why should they get 4 weeks to train and all that? Or have a tough fight or any type of fight, didn't have no chance to rest? I mean, come on, bro. Why didn't Errol Spence do that? Not everybody's moving like Errol Spence is lit. Errol Spence is popping. Errol Spence still looks hungry. Why didn't he do that? Why didn't he fight like Danny Garcia fighting in Red Cash in January and then say, hey, I'll fight you February 6th, where he can't even rest? Like, come on, bro. I don't like this. What y'all going to condone in boxing? Okay. Icy. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to the young boy Icy. Why can't Canelo fight him straight up? That's what I'm saying. And the thing that, if we're really being real, that looks suspicious if you always have these tricks up your sleeve. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you are legendary or whatever, whatever people are saying, then why does it always have to be something? Like, Pacquiao has some catch weights, but he didn't fight every goddamn person under all types of duress. You know what I'm saying? Pacquiao is a small dude. Canelo, at the same time, he's short in stature compared to some other dudes, but he's not a small dude. Like Pacquiao, he came from puberty weight or whatever. You know what I mean? This man, Pacquiao, came from sperm weight. That's the difference. He was like literally little. Canelo, his like density, his bone structure, his calves, his neck, like he's just short. That's the difference. He's short. Like, I know short, stocky motherfuckers, they still fill out. You know what I'm saying? You might not have the height, but you have the size. Canelo's arms and stuff, like he's a stout person. You know what I mean? Mike Tyson, same thing. Stout, thick ass neck and stuff. You know what I mean? Benavidez, Caleb Plant on the undercard. of Canelo Saunders. Block that person. Why? That doesn't even make sense. Why would a PBC fight on the undercard of a DAZN fight? Get Aldo out of here. Listen, I'm done. That was just too foolish for me. Why would they fight on the undercard and they're not even in, like, I don't know, bro. I don't have time for it. That was just foolish. That's like saying Big Mac should be on the Burger King menu. Like, what are you talking about, bro? He's in the land of make-believe. Facts. He's scared of David Benavidez. That's why he's not fighting a Mexican. Man, Benavidez is nasty, bro. He a monster. And you see all the racists, they rather see a black fighter like Charlo. Listen, if Charlo wants to go up and fight Benavidez, great fight. I'll support it. But here's the thing. Notice how a lot of the racists, they only push for Canelo to fight the Yildirims and for Benavidez to fight a guy moving up in Jamal Charlo. Like, they don't want Jamal Charlo to move up and fight Canelo, and they could have fought at 54 and 160. They were in the same divisions twice. You see what I'm saying? But some of the same people, the energy is that Charlo is ducking Benavidez, who already has a fight scheduled next month, if he don't move up and wait and vacate his belt to fight him. You see how that's broken? Meanwhile, you have a Mexican-American fighter and a Mexican fighter, and Canelo wants to fight on quote-unquote Mexican dates, and they're already in the same division, and Benavidez, being the hungry fighter that he is, called all of these guys out, says he wants to fight Charlo, wants to fight Canelo. He said he don't like Caleb Plant. So he's doing his part, putting his bid out. Hey, I'm a true fighter. I'll fight any of these guys. I want big fights. But once again, the racists are only advocating for the fight where the black fighter should move up and vacate his belt that he has and disregard anything else because, you know, they want to see the fight or they went back and forth on Instagram. But Canelo is in the same division and they like, oh, but Benavidez don't have a belt. Okay. Benavidez don't have a belt, but neither does Charlo. So you want to see, so instead of Benavidez trying to get his old belt back through Canelo, a Mexican-American and a Mexican fighter on quote-unquote Mexican dates, two Spanish-speaking fighters, you would rather not see that because Benavidez doesn't have a belt. But Charlo don't have a belt at 168, and you must see him or he's ducking and this is what the haters are saying. This is what the racists are saying. Charlo's ducking because the fight hasn't been made and Benavidez has a fight next month. Come on, bro. It's too simple. It's too easy to see the games and double standards. Smash the like button. The ruler's back. People are like, oh, but average Pilgrim, he's the mandatory. But where were all these people screaming mandatory when a black fighter, Jamal Charlo, was Canelo's mandatory? Where are all these pro-mandatory people? Where are all the people who love mandatory so much? Like, listen, he has to take when Canelo's mandatory is somebody that puts up the effort that Yildirim put up yesterday. You see the Canelo Manfest say, it's his mandatory, he must fight him. But where's that same energy for when Jamal Charlo was the mandatory and Canelo slipped out the back door alongside with the WBC, who held the back door open with this whole franchise champion stuff and created a whole different process and problem, right? Here's another thing. Look at how the WBC has systematically found a way with the franchise belt to ostracize black fighters. It's funny how that works too, because first they gave it to Canelo, so he didn't have to fight a black fighter, and Jamal Charlo, and they said, all right, whatever, since you're not fighting, we'll just bump you up. But the problem with the fighter being bumped up is you didn't earn it the traditional way that boxing respects, because somebody just told you you're the champion. You see what I'm saying? You just got nominated, elected by default. But the way to become a real champion is to earn it. You know what I'm saying? Through combat, through fisticuffs. But the WBC, with the introduction to the franchise champion, have found a way around giving rightful contenders, especially black contenders, because that's who was affected in these two scenarios that I'm about to give, an opportunity. So it's like, okay, we're not going to make our champion Golovkin, or later on Canelo, after he beat Golovkin, fight Charlo. So we'll find a way around that. And then they did it for Top Rank and Lomachenko. Same thing happened to Devin Haney. Devin Haney out here screaming for anybody young, feeling himself, undefeated, showing you the bravado. And they've allowed for fighters like these, both who happen to be black, what a coincidence, to be alienated, subjected to criticism, and ostracized, because now people say they have this easy, they have this easy avenue to say you didn't earn it. You're an email champion. You don't have enough names on your resume. It's funny how that works. But the right thing, if the WBC truly cared about boxing and doing the right thing, here's what you do. You're gonna need a wide list, because that's a very big chew, like Jay said. Let me show you if they really cared about doing it the right way and not showing crazy bias to certain fighters that they want, favoritism and all that. If they really wanted to be real, what they should have did is said, Triple G was supposed to fight Charlo. He didn't do it. You beat Triple G, and then we still tried to sick Triple G after he lost on Charlo, and Triple G didn't want that smoke, and he still didn't fight him because they tried to do like an eliminator or something. Abel Sanchez at the time, and Triple G was like, nah. So, sorry, you got to fight Charlo. But tell you what, so this doesn't happen again, the winner of Jamal Charlo and Canelo is the franchise champion. That's how you roll out something new like that, because both fighters had an equal opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like on some affirmative action, both fighters had an equal chance. You have a full training camp. He has a full training camp. You meet in the middle. Both guys have opportunity to make weight. If they both make weight, they both are eligible. And then may the best man win. And then the winner of that ideally would be this new position. But instead of doing that, the WBC said, bump all that. Let's not chance it. Let's just give it to Canelo and let Charlo build his career his own way or whatever. Come on, bro. And here's another thing. The money keep coming in. We just got a $5 tip. Y'all see it. Listen, y'all see it in the comments. $5 tip. Shout out to William Horton. Let's go. The money keep coming in. Cash App, Zelle on the screen. Peep this too. Look. Peep this. It's funny that now, like I said, these two black fighters, Jamal Charlo and Devin Haney, are being outed and, called email champions and saying your resume's weak and all this blah, 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 right? And the whole contention with that argument is guys like Devin Haney, you don't have the resume. You didn't fight a Lomachenko. You didn't fight a Luke Campbell for the belt. You were awarded the belt. Have you guys heard that? We'll start there. Have you heard people calling a black fighter in America Devin Haney an email champion. Have you heard that? And then people are justifying it, saying you didn't beat the guy to become a champion. Have you guys heard that? People saying Jermall Charlo, Devin Haney, you're an email champion because you didn't fight Loma for the belt like Tio did, even though we know he didn't get an opportunity. This is their argument. So watch this. Watch how I break them down, bro. Watch how I break them down like weed and I don't even smoke. But happy 420. Watch how I break them down and smoke them. So now the narrative is these black fighters, particularly Jermall Charlo and Devin Haney, who are looking for the smoke. They're duckers. They don't want no work. Devin's an email champion. But by using that same logic, what is Canelo when he was awarded the franchise champion belt? What is the difference? He didn't fight nobody to become a franchise champion. He didn't have a single solitary fight where by beating this eliminator, he was now a franchise. So they're saying Devin, a black fighter, and Jermall Charlo, another black fighter, they're saying these guys are email champions and things like that because they didn't fight a person to secure that belt. But guess what? Canelo didn't fight a person, and I know he has a good resume, but he still did not fight a person. He did not fight a person to collect the franchise champion status, designation, belt. Same goes with Lomachenko. So how does that work? So when it's a black fighter, let's tell the world that they're scary and they're ducking and they receive their belts in the mail. But isn't that what Canelo and Lomachenko received with the franchise emeritus designation or whatever? Because they didn't fight somebody to get that. This is a board of people with the WBC committee that said these guys are so important to the sport of boxing, we'll just remove everything off their plate. But once again, two non-black fighters who were franchised, you don't hear old media calling them two non-black fighters, a guy from the Ukrainian, and a fighter who hails from Mexico. Nobody calls them email champions. You see how this works with the double standard? Nobody's calling Canelo an email champion. Nobody says Lomachenko's an email champion. So their names and their value is kept high. We're just supposed to respect it based on, whatever else fights they had. We're just supposed to respect that move. But they're telling you not to respect Jermall Charlo as a champion, not to respect Devin Haney as a champion. You see what I'm saying? They're saying, oh, Devin's not a real champion. But nobody's doubting Lomachenko. Like, come on, bro. It's all politics. It's all politics. Now, let me dig in that ass like wedgies. They also say, old media, they also say Canelo is the face of boxing. They say he's pound for pound number one. So Mr. Face of Boxing and pound for pound number one, you just seen he was in there with a no-hoper. You just seen he was in there with a no-hoper that put up the worst fight. When have you ever seen anybody that put up no fight like that? Like even remember Errol Spence? Errol Spence fought Ocampo. Ocampo actually, go watch that. It only lasted one round, but Ocampo was throwing because I remember he caught Errol Spence. I don't remember exactly what, I was at that fight. I don't remember exactly what punch it was, but he landed a good shot on him. He at least threw, but it was just Errol was levels above him. So, sometimes it happens like that. Danny Garcia, he got ridiculed for Rod Salka. They said, what is this? Oh, Danny's a cherry picker. He's fighting Rod Salka. Rod Salka did better than Avni Yildirim. You understand that. Danny Garcia was persecuted for the Rod Salka match. Persecuted. And Danny Garcia actually knocked him out, unlike Canelo. Canelo, yeah, he is a technical knockout. He retired on the stool, but I'm talking about Danny flattened him. So Danny fought somebody that, no one wanted to see him fight or whatever, and he did what you're supposed to do. He's known for having power, and he just leaned him. The fight was over. It was like a one-hitter quitter, blah, blah, blah. Canelo did not lean Avni Yildirim. He was mopping him up and like beating him for sure, because of the skill set. But they say Canelo's power is just too crazy. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I think people overrate Canelo's power. I'm not saying he's pillow-fisted. Of course not. He has power for sure. Block XSNO Noah or whatever. Yeah, we gonna get you up out of here. Canelo definitely has power, but I think it's overstated as well. You know what I mean? Like they're acting like, yeah, Avni Yildirim was taking everything flat. If Wilder hit you that many times, you might fuck around and be dead. You might wake up dead and you're like, oh God, hey. Like Wilder can't hit you that many times, I'm telling you. That's true power. Better be if he hit you that many times flush, you might be dead, bro. Wipe yourself off, you bleeding. Like you gonna be in wipe yourself off, you dead. You're gonna be in a world of hurt. Canelo throwing precise punches, and Yildirim was still standing, to be honest. Cameron Renfro, appreciate you, $5. I'd rather go to Larry June's show instead of watching Canelo versus Pilgrim. Y'all wrong. That's funny, though. You see what I'm saying, bro? So the walls are closing in. Nello don't want that Better Beer smoke. Yeah, he ain't fighting Better Beer for sure. And Canelo, like I seen some of his recent comments. He's living in his own world, saying that people will never give him credit. Come on, bro. People will give you credit. People who already think you're a good fighter, they're not going to give you credit for things that aren't really praiseworthy. You know what I'm saying? Like beating Avni Yildirim, we knew you could do that. You just beat a champion in December. Chris Eubank knocked out Pilgrim in 3 rounds. And he wasn't even undefeated. So you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not that people hate on him. Like he said some BS talking about people from his country will never give him props. No, that's not it, bro. That's not it. Fight David Benavidez, and beat him up like you just did Yildirim, and everybody in Mexico will probably give you props because that's a fight that they think would be really good by and large. Daniel Mason with the money keep coming in. $10 on the super chat. He said, favorite muscle of mine is a muscle of mine, new media hustle, hardest to find. Canelo is content. He's happy to fight B-level fighters. Sooner or later, he's going to have to show and prove. Very well put. This man, William Horton, said that was the worst fight I've seen, period. Bro, I told you the walls are closing in. Okay, let's just play a little memory game, right? Who's been on my channel since before the Canelo Kovalev card? Who's been on my channel for that long? Like before Canelo Kovalev. So a couple years now. Okay, Daniel Mason. All right. Who recalls me saying before the fight that Canelo, even though he was going to 175 to fight Kovalev, it was an advanced cherry pick? I know what I say. I do so much content, but my memory is so good. Who remember? Those were my exact words. I'm sure I can find the video. I said, Canelo fighting Kovalev is an advanced cherry pick. Okay, people remember me saying that. Then you watch the fight and Kovalev looks horrible and he looks nothing like we've ever seen him at any time. So I was right. It was an advanced cherry pick. With the quick turnaround, his age, being stopped by Ward, being beaten mentally by Ward, drinking problem, getting leaned by Alito Alvarez, barely getting past a particular round versus Yard. It was an advanced cherry pick. Then it happened. He fought him, and in a fight where he was probably still even losing, he just blasts him out of there, and Kovalev can't even take a shot. Like, he's just like, wow, bam, 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 bam. And this is a guy who had never fought at 175 really professionally against anyone high level. I said it, and then it happened. Same thing with Caleb Smith. I'm like, Caleb Smith lost to John Ryder. And people get mad when I say this stuff. I'm like, he didn't even win his last fight. He didn't even win his last fight with John Ryder, and that's when Canelo decides to fight him. Look at how Caleb Smith performed. And then this was the worst out of all of them, Average Pilgrim. And I said, to hell with this. I'm not spending much energy to cover this fight on my channel. I got to black this fight out. You know, I can't spend the time and the resource and the mental drain. I'd rather have my peace of mind than this fight, you know, really like covering it like a real fight because we know the outcome. And then it happened. So I'm like 3-0, and yet and still they the man fans like you're hating. Yeah, people gonna believe you. I'm 3-0. I'm TB Ego. What are we talking about? I said to Kovalev, and then it played out exactly like I said. I said Caleb Smith didn't even beat John Ryder, and he has only fought domestic level. Look at his performance. He lost 12 rounds out of 12, every single round, every single second of every round. He looked horrible. He looked like dog shit. His bicep got exploded or whatever Canelo did to him. And then the same thing with the Average Pilgrim. I said, Average Pilgrim, watch what happens. It's going to be some bad blah, 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 to the point where I can't even cover it. I said, I'm not even going to cover it like that and like waste my resources and brain power and turning my microphone on to really promote that fight. And then you see it, and then somebody just said in the comment, this was one of the worst fights I've seen. But they say I don't know what I'm talking about. Good luck. Good luck with that, proving that to the people. Listen, everything I've done in this boxing game is on wax. I don't make videos and just leave them in my phone. I make videos for you guys to see. My whole body of work is on this internet. I drop breadcrumbs so you can go back and see everything that I done said in this boxing game. That's why I have true power and staying power and longevity, because when it all comes down, more often than not, your boy Ego, his accuracy rating is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, but more often than not, we get that. We get that dead on. I'm not saying I'll never be wrong, but we get that dead on. I told you what the fight yesterday was going to be. And you can scream, oh, mandatory. I don't care. I don't care. He found a way out of a mandatory when it was a black fighter like Jermall Charlo. So find your way out of this. Make a new double franchise champion. Do something. Like, just, okay. Real spill. If I'm lying, prove me wrong. Like Cassidy said, prove I'm lying if I ain't correct. Prove I'm lying if I ain't correct. Hey, yo, dog, listen, dog. Listen. This is my personal opinion. Canelo's last 3 opponents, based on how they looked, I don't care about the rest of their fights. I'm not really, right now, as it sits with that as the memory of their performance, I don't care who they fight next. I'm not really checking for that. And it's not just because they lost. It's how they lost. I'm probably not going to be following up extensively with Kovalev's next fight or Caleb Smith's next fight or whatever. Pilgrim, he should retire out of all of them. Average Pilgrim need to retire, most likely. And I don't normally tell people when to retire, but based on how he looked, there was a major disconnect. You see what I'm saying? He said, I went to school with Cass. You sound just like him. Man, I'm on my Philly stuff. I'm on my Philly stuff. Man, you niggas all bitches. If I put you on my hit list, you will walk around rocking football equipment. We all got biscuits. The snub and the guest. and we'll squeeze arms like blood pressure tests. Man, I guess you want cash to your dump. I dump a clip in your lip and mustache. Fuck with my cash and taste the chrome. The 8 make your face hot like straightening comb. I want to make this known. If I don't blow, fuck it. I got ounces of dro that go for 400. When the coke coming, man, the cannon to your rib. I'll make you strip naked like D'Angelo did. Come on. Like, bro, I'm on that Cassius Swizzy. Listen, if your watch look nice, then the cannon in your rib, I'll make you strip naked like D'Angelo did. Dog, like, come on, bro. They ain't fucking with me. They flabbergasted. I put you to sleep like a boring movie. Look. Hey, dog. The sig clap push your wig back like mystical. Man, one man, come on, I'm on my cash shit. What the fuck is y'all talking about, bro? Shout out to Eddie Clay. Man, Canelo fight Pilgrim. Like, what's up with that? Shout out to Eddie Clay. He sent the $5 in the super chat. I got another $5. That's a super chat. I'll pull up with a block with a super gat that a super. Let me stop. Hold on. I said that's a super chat. I see what they doing with these stupid raps. Shout out to Eddie Clay. That's a $5 super chat. I go stupid with gat. The gat clap. Like, man, y'all better stop, bro. Before I go back to my mixtape cash shit on your ass. Get these bums out of here, bro. Old media it's a dub. It's over. I'm getting sent some stuff. Hold on. Yeah, man, come on, bro. He said Canelo finessing the boxing system. But the racists hated when Floyd Mayweather got big paychecks. And Floyd wasn't fighting Yudrums. Man, Floyd was on top. He was drilling and killing. I watched Floyd's whole career, and I don't remember no Yudrum. Listen. I said Floyd was willing, drilling, and killing. Listen. I said Floyd was willing, drilling, and killing. I watched his whole career, and I don't remember no Yudrum. Like, I don't remember him fighting nobody. Y'all complained, all y'all racists and shit. Y'all complained when he fought Berto. Berto, ain't nobody made him look like Avni Yudrum. Nobody. Not Victor Ortiz. Not, you know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Yudrum look bad, bro. He said Floyd would fight no name Avni. Bro, that sound like a nice watch. Like, man, fuck this AP. I got my motherfucking Avni Yudrum watch. That sound like some luxury watch brand or some shit. What the fuck is it? Man, I went to Turkey. I flew down to Turkey. Man, fuck a Rolex. I got me the Avni Yudrum. You feel me? Bro, like you got an iced out Avni Yudrum. Like, what is that? Motherfucker got that iced out. Man, fuck the AP. I ain't putting no AP on robbery. I got that motherfucker. I went to Turkey, got me an Avni Yudrum. Like some cologne and shit. What the fuck is an Avni Yudrum? Man, come on, bro. It is funny because the walls is closing in. You got Cinnabons, they bragging about Canelo's money. He ain't sharing it with you. Why you happy? He ain't giving you nothing. Motherfucker, listen. These Cinnabons defending the bullshit as boxing fans. They're defending the bullshit. Oh, Canelo getting paid, bro. Motherfucker, your light's about to get cut off. You need to get paid. You motherfuckers calling Sprint and shit doing PTPs. That's a promise to pay. Listen, these motherfuckers doing PTPs, promise to pay. They calling Sprint begging. Yeah, my bill's due today and I'm not going to be able to pay. I could pay you by March 12th. They doing PTPs. Listen, they doing PTPs. I spit ludicrous. That's DTP. Listen, Man, listen. Listen, I'm going to get you high today. That's PCP. These dudes calling Sprint doing PTPs. I'm ludicrous. That's DTP, the way I'm disturbing the peace. Listen, hold on. I'm about to go, I'll start snapping, bro. They be calling Sprint. Oh, yeah, March 12th. I think I'll be able to pay you. I'll get paid again. And they bragging about Canelo's money because he on a yacht. Good for him. You need some of Canelo's money. You need to get you a hustle. They doing Sprint promise to pay because they can't pay their bills on time. Stop. Come on, man. My shooters just put it in word. Yeah, you never know. Boom, you never know. Hey, these shooters be putting it there. Wizard. They know what I'm saying is real. That's why it's hurting them. And that's why they have to listen. They know what I say is real. That's why it's hurting them. Everything I spit real is pertinent. Listen, I said I'm hurting them. I'm hurting them. It's pertinent. They know what I say is real. It's hurting them. Hey, hold on. He just resurrected him and just shot him again. Hey, these shooters is wild, bro. This is Wild Wild West. When I roll into the Wild Wild West, these shooters be clapping, bro. You know this Canelo was a dud. Just admit it. Just admit your sensei ego was right. I'm the master. Who is the master? Yeah. Y'all know I'm the show enough for this boxing town. Y'all know I got the glow. I'm Timok. I got the glow. Kiss my Converse. Yeah. Y'all know that fight wasn't, that was buns. That was Bang Bros. You know it was buns. Trash. Sex. Dead ass. Like, you know it was trash, bro. Stop lying to yourself, huh? Yeah, so you mean to tell me that wasn't garbage bag juice, huh? Trash receptacles, can, recyclables, dumpster juice. You know it was trash. Just admit it. You'll feel better. Canelo beat Yildirim's ass, and he was drinking a coffee afterwards. The motherfucker was sipping a macchiato. He did it like, bro. All right, good luck to DAZN. Keep putting on this bullshit. We'll see. Canelo out here fighting a human punching bag, shaking my head. This crap gotta stop. Whatever, bro. Whatever. Old media, they go try to defend it, trying to keep up with me. You can't keep up with me. Wait till you see my next move. You gotta always make your next move your best move. You can't keep up with me. And I'm speaking from the heart, bro. You know what it is. I think people like the idea of Canelo more than what we're receiving. Does that make sense? Like, I know some people that shouldn't be in relationships, but they like the idea of a relationship. You see what I'm saying? Some people can't be by themselves. So they kind of get with somebody, and they should really take the time to heal or be alone and, have some solitude, but they just can't be alone. I think people like the idea of Canelo. I told you. Y'all also keep saying on the face of boxing, but realistic. Listen, I'm being dead serious. Who is the pound for pound? Block him. I'm the pound for pound king. That's me. Yeah, I'm the pound for pound king. That's who. Me. That's who. Huh? Okay. Blocking here, rat. I can tell. Y'all smell that? Y'all smell that rat? Get him out of here. Listen. Hey, y'all gotta chill. Canelo fought the Century Bob Torso. Y'all smell that rat? Yeah. Bro, I like it. I want to see them keep up with the message. I'm saying a real message. They're saying whatever they're saying to sell it. Like, bro, I seen people like, oh, this is the greatest ring walk. What? What was great about? Like, bro, I could think of several ring walks that were more legendary than that. That was just like a mini concert, to be honest. Do you see what I'm saying? Errol Spence Mikey Garcia, his ring walk was better. Wilder's ring walk was better. And Wilder has a couple of them that were better. That shit was light. They had a motherfucker on a BMX bike that crashed. That really wasn't tough. You know, the best thing is, I guess, if you like J Balvin's music and, you know what I'm saying, you was jamming to it. Shout out to King P. It's crazy because DAZN was just talking ish about Canelo's opponents, then turn around and do the same thing. Because they desperate. They was crying in there. They don't have nobody that they've put as much money to than Canelo. So once he got free from Golden Boy, they just decided to bring him back because they're trying to get the DAZN UK off the ground. So they're like, oh, okay, we'll let Canelo do this BS fight with Yildirim, and it was horrible because we're looking towards a fight and hopefully appeasing the UK with Billy Joe Saunders. But I'm here to tell you, bro, DAZN in the UK is like $2. You guys understand that? Listen, the DAZN app in the UK is like $2. So I don't really know many people that really were stoked about Canelo versus Saunders. It's not a big fight out here. Okay, let me ask y'all, this is a real question. I'm the realest in the game. It's okay. I'm TB Ego. Listen, how many people, like, don't say their names because I don't do a bunch of clout chasing. How many videos have you seen where someone does commentary or something, because like not just like a post, something that took effort for you to actually get on a mic and speak and commentate, blah, blah, blah. How many commentary videos, because there's a ton of them now after I popularized this on YouTube, how many commentary videos have you seen about Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders? The fight was made official last night. So how many have you seen where somebody spent the time to talk about Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders? How many have you seen and watched? Let me know. He says 0. That's what I'm saying. I ain't seen, bro, they made the fight official. It was I ain't seen one person. Like, I follow a lot, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, tons of people on the, what's it called? The YouTube, just boxing people. I ain't seen nothing on my home feed. I don't really be watching YouTube boxing videos like that. You know what I mean? Because this is what I do every day, so I'll be watching other stuff. But usually I'll see it on my home feed at least. You know what I'm saying? I'll see on my home feed that people, like, I could tell what's a hot topic because you'll see, like, on your homepage, your timeline or whatever, you'll see a million posts about, you know, like, bro, Devin Haney, when Devin Haney was going back and forth with Gary Russell, I mean, that had more traction than Canelo Saunders. I'm not playing, bro. I seen more people talking about Gary Russell Jr. and Devin Haney back and forth than I have since they made the fight finalized. So good luck to DAZN. We'll see. This American takeover is some bullshit because this ain't taking. You have not taken over America, bro. What have you done to take? What has Eddie Hearn done to take over America? I ain't seen one person. They made the fight official and nobody cared. I ain't seen one video where someone really took the time and did a commentary. Oh, great fight was announced. Canelo and Billy Joe Saunders. So they better promote the hell out of it and hope people interest grows over the next couple of months because it's basically March. That fight's in early May. You got 2 months. Good luck. You got 2 months, doggy. Probably a month and a half. You got 2 months. I ain't seen nobody talking about that, you know, in America. Like, I'm speaking on behalf of where I'm based out of, you know. The UK, maybe they love it. I don't know. I ain't see one. Like how you it. Okay, Eddie Hearn. Listen, you listen to me. You can say, "Oh, you full of it. You don't know what you're talking about. You bloody wanker." Like you could, say whatever you want about me, but I empower all of y'all. Listen, just listen and tell me if what I'm saying makes more sense. Eddie Hearn just did an interview where he says Canelo versus Billy Joe Saunders is one of the biggest fights in all of boxing. Fine. You can trust Eddie Hearn if you want to, but my thing is, where is the presence since you just released 2 versions of a flyer? Canelo just destroyed Yildirim in 2 rounds. If people were really like salivating over that fight and it was one of the biggest fights in boxing, like Eddie Hearn is telling you, then how come I haven't seen anybody really talking about it? And it's not even just YouTube. I follow, like I'm on Instagram. There's a lot of Instagram pages. I don't see no crazy traffic or really that many people even posting about a fight that was made official. I told you, Canelo's star power is dwindling. He's making a lot of money. He has a good resume, but he's kind of topped off in terms of interest level until he steps up and fights some of the Canelo his matchmaking is looking like UK matchmaking, where Daniel Dubois, up until Joe Joyce, all of his opponents look like guys he should beat. They're matching Canelo like that, but he's a great fighter. So the interest level is declining. Listen, if I'm lying, whatever. The bad news for Canelo is this. The game is changing. You can make all the money in DAZN if they want to keep fronting the bill and paying for it. That's on them. But the game is changing. You have up-and-comers who are just in a different position in their career where they're not making the type of money Canelo's making, and they're just purely hungry. So Oscar Valdez is fighting a great fight with Berchelt and looking good. So that's going to help. It's going to help. Virgil Ortiz Jr. is fighting a good fight for where he's at. Maurice Hooker. So these are great fights. Jaron Boots Ennis, they said he's fighting Sergey Lipinets. That's a great fight for where he's at. So Canelo, I've said this for a while now. Believe me if you want. Listen and observe and watch. He is being passed up. And I'm not saying Virgil Ortiz or Jaron Ennis right now are bigger than him. But what I am saying is the interest level for, like before, like when Canelo was fighting Cotto on HBO, you wanted to probably stay away from his dates. But now it's getting to the point where, based on the moves he's making and the opponents he's selecting, there are so many other fights that are almost guaranteed to be better. For example, I think Jose Ramirez versus Josh Taylor is a more meaningful fight. It's a more meaningful fight, and I think it'll actually be better. That's just the facts. Bro, Canelo is not above. He is not so skilled to the point where none of his fights are going to be like two-way traffic. There's nobody in the history of boxing that has went through that. So it leads you to believe that it's Canelo being a great skill fighter coupled with the other elements of who you're selecting, the clever matchmaking. I keep telling y'all the gems, bro. Like, for example, how is it that Lomachenko, I've said the same thing, Triple G, I said the same thing, and it all came true. Good fighters, for sure, but old media over-promoted and said that these guys, Lomachenkos and Triple Gs and Canelo now, I don't want to put Canelo, but really Lomachenko and Triple G, they're so great and blah, blah, blah. And I told you got to look at the matchmaking. Who did Triple G really fight pre-Jacobs? He fought people that, based on what he does well, he should mesh and match up very well with these guys. He didn't really fight nobody that, like, I wouldn't have picked Matthew Macklin to beat him. Gabe Rosado was moving up from 54, so no one picked him. Gregor's Proska, I don't even know who the fuck that is, so I definitely didn't pick him. What's his name? Daniel Gill. I didn't pick him. You know what I'm saying? Marco Antonio Rubio had been stopped before. So none of the people that Triple G was even fighting really stood a chance. Martin Murray, like, it's the same kind of concept, bro. It's the same concept. But then as soon as Triple G started fighting better competition, people start saying he got exposed. See how this works? When he fought even Kell Brook, coming up in weight, Kell Brook was bop, bop, bop. He was bopping his head up and shit. And that was a little dude coming up. You know what I'm saying? That was a light dude coming up. But people, after that Kell Brook fight, people said Triple G was exposed. So you fought a smaller guy with some skills and undefeated at the time who had some fight in him, and you beat him, but people were still saying you got exposed. And then after that, for Triple G, it went downhill because he fought Jacobs, and I thought Jacobs actually beat him, even with the knockdown. It was only one of them. You know what I mean? And then he ended up fighting Canelo, and then it was a draw, and then Canelo beat him, and then blah, blah, blah. And then he started fighting Bubba Hotep and Steve Rose and all that. And then he fought Derevchenko, and he got his ass whooped. So Triple G has not looked the same since he stepped up in competition. Period. When Triple G stepped up in competition, all of a sudden, he didn't look like Superman anymore. Same thing with Lomachenko. He lost to Salido, never really fought that style that Salido brought until he fought Teofimo, who doesn't necessarily fight like Salido, but he has some attributes to really, really, like, he's big, he's strong, he can box, he can box and bang, you know what I'm saying? And then the one person that I thought would beat Lomachenko in a while, I took the gamble and I picked Teofimo to beat him, and he beat him. So you got to give me my credit where it's due. If certain fights are made, I can assure you that win, lose, or draw, these are more compelling fights. I think I know enough about boxing to suggest that. You know what I'm saying? So Canelo, win, lose, or draw, if he fights Benavidez, it's not going to be the Yildirim fight. Even if he stopped Benavidez, it still won't look like that unless Benavidez is drunk or, you know what I'm saying, weight drain or something weird, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Noir. He said Mikey would have ragdoll Loma, but that's who Top Rank kept away from Loma. Mikey Garcia probably would have leaned Lomachenko. But it never happened. You see how this works? This is what we're seeing in boxing with a lot of guys. Like, Errol Spence is fighting styles that could or should give him problems. Mikey Garcia, y'all said that Mikey was a better boxer than Errol. So even though he was coming up in weight, he still had experience at 140. And he has power. I've seen several interviews from Robert Garcia Boxing Gym where people vouch for Mikey's power. So that, if Errol wasn't on his P's and Q's or wasn't the great fighter he is, that could have gave him issues, right? That's all we're asking for Canelo. You know, Sean Porter, he brought his A game. In shape, rugged, rough, mean pace, you know what I'm saying? Don't get tired, stay in your chest. So if Errol Spence was a lesser fighter, you know, it could have been a different outcome. Danny Garcia even, car wreck. Danny got true power. So he was trying. He just got discouraged along the way because of what Errol was doing right. So again, a lesser fighter wouldn't have beat some of these guys. Bro, there's no one I can think of that I rate at 168 that would have lost to Yildirim how he looked yesterday. Do you see what I'm saying? Motherfuckers is so impressed with Canelo because they like the idea of Canelo. But my question to you is this. Name somebody that you respect right now that you think got next at 168 that would have lost to the Yildirim that showed up. That's how you can kind of gauge boxing. Sean Porter that Errol Spence fought, Sean Porter, if he was that dialed in, that focused, and that determined, he would have gave any welterweight a lot of problems. like the same Sean Porter, the same energy, the same shape and all that. He could have fought Terrence Crawford, and I think that would have been a fight where Crawford would have to think. You know what I'm saying? Avni Yildirim, he could have fought. If he fought David Benavidez, he would get seriously hurt. He'll get seriously hurt, bro. If Avni Yildirim fought Benavidez and he looked like he looked yesterday, like as a fighter, not even talk about what Canelo was doing. I'm just saying showing up, not throwing punches, he'll get hurt. He would get hurt bad, bro. Benavidez would decapitate him. And trust me, it wouldn't look like the Canelo. It wouldn't be no quitting on the stools. You quitting in the rounds, like during the rounds. Benavidez is too dangerous, bro. Like he a big dude too. There's no quitting on the stool. You gonna quit in the motherfucker in the 3 minutes, or you gonna be unconscious. Fighting like how Yildirim, you would have been unconscious. You would have been unconscious. Yildirim would be unconscious, bro. Fucking with Benavidez. He would have been unconscious. Even a guy like Berlanga, the way he was looking, Avni Yildirim, Berlanga might decapitate him just with lacking experience. I like Berlanga, but he's not, his resume is not stellar. He's still developed. He's young and all that, blah, blah, blah. But he just too heavy-handed and feeling himself. If Yildirim fought Berlanga like that, Berlanga probably run through his shit. And it probably would have been worse than Canelo. Just because we're dealing with grown man strength, heavy-handed dudes. You see what I'm saying? I'm just telling you. I don't see anyone that Yildirim would have beat looking like that. He said Berlanga would body Yildirim. That's what I'm saying. He probably would have did it in one round like he said on Twitter. He probably would have. Bro, Yildirim looked like he didn't even want to beat it. He got hit, and he was just getting hit sequentially, like with additional shots, and was just right there. Bro, if Berlanga hits you, you finna die, dog. You can't just accept that. He no head move. Bro, Berlanga, he finna whoop-dee. He finna whoop-dee upside your head, bro. Phil, I'm addicted to blue cheese. He finna blue cheese your shit. He finna hit you with that CJ. Stop playing, bro. So people are marveling at what Canelo did, but if you put him in there with the best heavy-handed people in 168, I think they would have Yildirim wouldn't even made it to the, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have happened in between rounds. It would have happened in the round. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, play with Berlanga if you want to. I mean, whatever. And people are like, oh, Canelo the pizzazz. Bro, fuck all that. If David Benavidez or Berlanga or somebody like that fought and Yildirim wasn't throwing punch, bro, Yildirim didn't even throw any punches in the first round for real. How you gonna fight a overly confident, not overly, but an uber confident person like a Benavidez or Berlanga who they getting people out if they don't need to be in there? How you gonna fight someone like that? Ricky Williams said the fight was a disgrace. Like I said, I'm ultimately not tripping because I didn't put no energy into it. It's just sad for the sport of boxing. And now the WBC is talking about, oh, we should look at the process. Now you tell us after you wasted everybody's time by it made no sense from the beginning. Yildirim ain't fought in 2 years, never was a world beater anyway, got stopped by Chris Eubank in 3 rounds, got stopped in his last fight. What made you think that this would even be something that people needed to see, right? It's just like with Tyson Fury fighting Tom Schwartz. Like, what does that even represent? What? Okay, he beat Tom Schwartz. Okay, what does that mean for the heavyweight division? Oh, this is Mauricio Suleiman with Yildirim's manager. Oh, now it makes sense. This is Suleiman with Yildirim's manager. Oh, maybe that's it. Look, he got his hand all on his chest. They cool. Look. Oh. Oh, maybe that's why he got orders. See? You know your boy Ego be thinking a little bit. Maybe that's why they ordered it. Cause you have a relationship with his manager. So despite the whole lot and greater good of boxing, rather seeing a fight like, I don't know, David Benavidez, who twice held that belt, the WBC belt, instead of ranking him, you rank your boy's fighter. Oh, you want to talk about mothers. Okay. I told y'all, leave me alone. Y'all not on the level. I do Matlock Forensic Files investigation. So now we know what it is, politics. So I'm not letting politics ruin my sport of boxing. I can't. I took an oath to y'all, a silent oath. So we know what it is, bro. It's all politics. Oh, you grease my palm, I scratch your back, you scratch my back. You slide me something under the table, or I know you and we have a great relationship, so we'll bump you up in the rank. Come on, bro. Stop. But y'all should do a better job of masking that, because when the fight actually ends disastrous and we like, bro, just listen to what I'm saying. Tell me I'm not the realest out. Tell me I don't make sense. Avni Yildirim got $2.5 million for that. You had celebrity boxers, Jermell Charlo, Terrence Crawford, Danny Garcia, Valerie Loreda of the Bellator, Jorge Masvidal of UFC. You had all these people that came out to support boxing, and they're probably left with a sour taste in their mouth because, yes, they got to see great punch selection from Canelo, but it wasn't any type of fight that anybody would remember for anything good. Like, even he hit him with a 1-2 and he went down, which happens, you know what I mean? But it was like he quit in the corner. Like, this is the representation you want for boxing. And beyond that, Yildirim got $2.5 million. This is what's wrong with boxing. Yildirim getting almost $3 million, and Teofimo has to get in a beef with Top Rank to get barely over that through Triller, who's like in a whole different stratosphere of what they're trying to do. This is the problem with boxing. How did Yildirim get paid $2.5 million, you know? And look at his performance. Look at his performance. So he got bagged up, whereas, like, imagine guys like Demetrius Andrade. That's a black fighter. Do you think Demetrius Andrade, win, lose, or draw, is going to go out like that? So the bag is being given to somebody that Mauricio Suleiman's is partners with. You know what I'm saying? A guy. So the money, a Turkish fighter who's not even from America can fight on American soil, right? Put up a lousy effort, lay an egg, and still get bagged up. But then there's other fighters that for $1 million, they're going to fight their ass off. Guys like Javier Fortuna. Give him $1 million and he'll probably try to tear somebody's head off. This is the problem with boxing. This right here. Teofimo, he got to betray Top Rank and, you know, get in the beef with Todd DeBuff and all types of stuff to get bigger paychecks because they were trying to give him the minimum. But Yildirim, Teofimo won't go out. I mean, I can't picture. He's too young and too feeling himself, and he has too much discipline. So hate him or love him, Teofimo's not going to go out like Yildirim. Even if he loses a fight, you're going to have to carry him, take him out the fight. You know what I'm saying? This man came, you have a Turkish fighter from Turkey. He came, fought on American soil, got bagged up by DAZN because he was fighting Canelo, and the event didn't even, it wasn't worthy of it. You know what I mean? And then Teofimo got to switch networks and all this goofy stuff. And his effort. This is what, bro, boxing is going to change. I promise you. These fighters are getting smarter. Listen, I'm glad Teofimo getting that Triller money. I hope it sets a nice tone and a nice precedence. I really do. Because I want fighters that are really like fighting for themselves and their family. I want them to get bagged out. Because you scratch someone else's back and, other people greasing palms. Oh, I got a good relationship. So Mauricio Suleiman, he got a relationship with Yildirim's promoter. So it looks like politics. You cool with his dude, so you're going to keep them fed. But then when it comes to Devin Haney, Bill Haney and Devin Haney are telling anyone who would listen that they wanted to fight Lomachenko, that they wanted to fight Luke Campbell for the WBC belt. But you don't maybe have the same relationship with them. So he don't get no extra favors. Come on, bro. It's wrong. It's wrong. And same thing with Canelo. You allowing him to rob the bank without even being tested, knowing he's a good fighter. They want Canelo to be the manufactured Mexican Mayweather so bad. Like, they want all the clout and all the fun yachts and stuff that Floyd has, and, the Ritz. But Floyd didn't go out like this. And it's funny because a lot of the racists, they'll tell you he did do this, and Floyd never fought nobody. Name a Money Mayweather fight where he fought a Yildirim. Robert Guerrero ain't no fucking Yildirim. That's a good point. They held up Flores' $80,000 purse when Luis Ortiz decked him, but Pilgrim can quit on his stool for $2.5 million, no questions asked. But the Luis Ortiz fight happened in California. California commission is different. Miami, that's not even like a known hub for boxing, so who knows what the rules are over there. Florida's just a different spot in general. That's what I'm saying, bro. This is just crazy. Like, even Teofimo, like I said, he just beat Lomachenko, and he got to do hella extra to get $3.9 million. Even comes at a cost, but boxing is giving $2.5 million to a Yildirim. They give it. Billy Joe Saunders is not a likable person, but he gonna get the Canelo payday. But Andre was with DAZN. Man, they make it real hard to support DAZN. They got to change their leadership or something. Andre was with DAZN. Peep this. A black fighter, Demetrius Andrade, was with DAZN before Canelo, was with DAZN before Triple G. And he definitely was with DAZN before Billy Joe Saunders, because Billy Joe Saunders was the last of all of them to come. But a white fighter, Billy Joe Saunders, gets a Canelo opportunity before a Demetrius Andrade. And Andrade could have fought against Canelo at 54, never happened. 60, never happened. And he's willing to move up to 68 for a big fight. He's already said that. You know what I mean? It's just like boxing they gotta fix this. You got, like I said, you got people like Teofimo, who he should be getting probably more money. You know what I'm saying? He just beat Lomachenko. But he gotta go to purse bid and all this goofy stuff, because his promoter, at least, they have a budget, but they're not trying to give him more. But Yildirim could get 2.5 easy work. Like, just listen to how wrong this sounds. Yildirim quit in 3 rounds and got 2.5 million. Teofimo just beat Lomachenko, top rank included. They're running around saying he's undisputed. They were trying to give him $1.25 million. And you tell me that I'm the problem? I'm biased? I don't know what I'm talking about? Fuck y'all. Straight like that. If you don't like what I'm saying, fuck y'all. I'm speaking that real. I'm speaking up for the fighters. I'm speaking that real ism. Fuck y'all. The man, they try to give Teo 1.25 million, and Yildirim gets double that. For the Camboso fight, it's not like big on my radar, but I think Camboso and Teo will probably be a more compelling fight. So you got fighters who risking their lives the same way, are willing to show heart. Like, from what I've seen from Camboso, his people actually reached out to me like years ago trying to get me to do an interview, but our paths didn't cross. I was busy and covering fights. But anyway, I think both Tio and Kambosos will give a better effort than Yildirim. And they got to do all this and switch networks and blah, blah, blah to get 2.5. You know what I mean? Like, George Kambosos, he getting like 2.1 million. And that's because Triller came with a crazy purse bid. He got it, and he's a mandatory and all that. But Yildirim could get 2.5 and quit. Man, stop. He said Canelo generates. Bro, that shit looked dry as fuck. Jermell Charlo said that it wasn't lit like that. So, I mean, you guys in the comment section can keep living these Canelo myths. The shit did not look that packed. The Canelo fight, they want Canelo to be it so bad. It did not look packed. It looked dry as fuck. Did anyone see the crowd? They had whole sections of blue where it was just empty. The shit did not. I've been at fights. I was at Mayweather, McGregor, and all that. The shit didn't look packed. Meek Mill, I seen Meek Mill at Mayweather, McGregor. Ask him. Wait a minute. Y'all thought I was in it? Meek Mill went. I seen him. I've been to big fights, bro. The shit did not look lit like that. Stop playing with a real one. Shout out to Lamont. Respect for keeping it 100. That's why we doing our way. They keep in the comment section to try to, go against the grain and prove me wrong or whatever. You can't prove right wrong. I know that sounded a little crazy, but listen again. You can't prove right wrong. If somebody is right or in the right, you can't prove that wrong. That's the difference between me and them. What's the difference between me and you? Me and you. Back when Q was rolling with Lorenzo in the Benz, you can't prove right wrong. What I mean is when something is right, you can't prove it wrong. It's not going to be wrong because you want it to be wrong. The shit looked dry. The shit looked dead. The fucking concert was better than the whole fight. End of. Bro, this looked lit. That was lit. You got this big ass venue. That was it. This is for the main event, yo. This is the main event. That was lit. Okay. They're like, bro, they holding on to Canelo's old, bro. It's like them old people on the block. They're like, man, in the night, like them old paid in full dudes. They're like that. Had the block. They had Queens popping in the 90s. Man, I was rolling with Preem and all them, Alpo. I knew we had a motorbike. But then they got knocked and went to jail and stuff and lost all their money and stuff. And they come back and they just telling you about what they had in 1994. Like, okay, it's 2021. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool for history's sake, but get that again. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that simple. They out here like holding on to Canelo's like prime, like the Triple G fights were successful. Chavez Jr. fight was pretty successful. Floyd fight, of course, was successful. Cotto fight was successful. That's what people are holding on to. That's what people are holding on to. And say, oh, Canelo's the biggest thing. No, he's not. He's getting paid. That's irrefutable. He's definitely getting paid. But again, is what was generated, is that worthy of that pay? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm out. I'm going to give my voice a rest. Like I said, I can't wait till PBC and some other people announce what else is next. Triller. I want to see what they do with Teofimo's fights. Let's go. I'm ready. 2021. I need to see the schedule because Canelo just put everything in a bad mood, bro. Because it's like it happened and it came and went and there's nothing to really even talk about. You see what I'm saying? Canelo didn't give nobody nothing good to really talk about. Like, You just fought on Saturday, and by Sunday it's dead. But when Wilder fight, this conversation into the next week. You know what I'm saying? When Errol Spence fight, there's conversation to the next week. When Tank knocked out Leo Santa Cruz, people are reposting it and doing voiceovers. Canelo got this shit dry as fuck. And please tell him I said that. He got this shit dry as fuck. It's not going to be what you want. This whole thing is dry as fuck. He fights Saturday. It's like nothing to talk about on Sunday other than to be mad. And like, what was that? Why was Yildirim selected? They was on SportsCenter asking why Yildirim got selected. And people looking at this and like, oh, you're hating on Canelo. Man, fuck all y'all. I don't care what y'all talking about. It don't have nothing to do with hate. It has something to do with the integrity of the sport. I, unlike you, care about the whole sport and not just individual fighters. Canelo got this shit dry as fuck. Yeast infection. Bro, this shit, man, just stop. It's dry. Like, he literally just fought, and there's nothing like remotely, like when Tank knocked out Leo Santa Cruz, given how good of a fight it was and how good of a card it was, there as a content creator, it's an energy. And it's not just me, because I see it. Okay, when Tank fought, people's viewership was like, bow, like crazy. Nobody's viewership is blowing up because this shit is trash. This shit is dry as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, when I did the Errol Spence, I'm telling you, you keep saying he's the Canelo face of boxing. When I did Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, that was my most famous Boxing Ego watch party. We hit over 1.1 million minutes watched on that one video. So it's not just me, because you could look at anybody else's numbers, like Fight Hype, Fight Hub, or whatever, and you'll see everybody's like putting out content. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's eating. Canelo just fought, and people ain't eating much different than any other like smaller fight week. There's no conversation pieces. So I'm supposed to be happy because Canelo can buy a yacht, he making money, but the whole of boxing isn't like surviving or thriving after it. Like, okay, you just punched this guy up in 2 rounds and it was over. There's just way more better like fights, like Virgil Ortiz versus bro. I don't care what none of y'all talking about. Don't get off my channel right now. If you don't care about the integrity of all of boxing, leave. Virgil Ortiz, Maurice Hooker, that's a better fight. That's a better fight than this bullshit we just seen yesterday. Jaron Ennis, Sergey Lipinets, Mikey Pacquiao, all of these are better fights, and I guarantee you that I believe they'll have better outcomes. Like, whereas if Mikey fights Pacquiao, neither one is going to get fucking beat the fuck up and not throw a punch like Yildirim. Man, stop. It won't happen. It won't happen, I promise you. Even Errol Spence, I thought he handily beat Danny Garcia. Danny was still trying. Danny was still, he caught Errol Spence a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens when you have elite competitive fights. What we just seen with Canelo. And what's worse is Canelo's next fight is already lined up. And I'm still not really even interested in that like that. You know what I'm saying? It's better than Pilgrim, you know, but I'm not really sold that that's going to be the fight that changes this trend. Hope I'm wrong, but with the way things have been going, I probably won't be. That's my time. I'll catch y'all on another rhyme. We out of here. Peace.